Hey everyone, it is your girl Hayes coming at you from my garden under my peach tree. And today we're gonna talk about something I do that is slower than any other garden task that I do, and maybe one of my favorites of all. What am I talking about? I'm gonna tell you why sometimes I sit on that little garden seat right there and I cut up straw for a long time. So what is the purpose of straw in the garden? I personally use it for a lot of things. I use it as mulch. I use it as a soil amendment. I use it in my compost. I even use it as filler. If you hear about people when they do filler, when they fill up a big garden bed, like a raised garden bed, a lot of them will say, oh, I'll put sticks, I'll put logs at the bottom of my garden bed. I put straw down there. In one of my highest garden beds, I actually have like 2 full bales of straw underneath all the soil. It takes up space. It does convert over time into organic material because it is organic material. It is my favorite mulch I've ever used, but that's a mosquito. But yes, I'm using snips to swat at a mosquito. But there is a caveat to that, which is that I don't like using straw the way it comes in bales. Now, a lot of you have probably seen a product called Easy Straw. There's nothing wrong with Easy Straw, except for me that it's expensive. And I'm cheap. Let me just say that right now. I'm cheap in really strange ways. So let me show you how I take a bale of straw that I can get for $5. It's just wheat straw. It's had the vast majority of the seeds removed. I'm not gonna say 100% because, and there's always gonna be something. You can get seed in the air, but I find that if you put your mulch in thickly, you're really not gonna get a lot of germinating seeds under this kind of mulch. I've had great success with this in my garden. I'll show you exactly how I do it and exactly how I take one of these bales that I can get for $5 and turn it into an enormous amount of fantastic mulch. So this is literally all I do. I take my straw and I bunch it up and I just clip it. I use snips. I think these are cheap ones I got on Temu, but I also use Fiskars, which are better, but these are fine. Perfect is sometimes the enemy of done. This is literally it. And what I do, you might be saying, Hayes, that looks like it's gonna take a really long time. Yeah, it does. But that's okay. You know why? Because I didn't set up this garden so that I could do everything quick and easy. This is where I like to spend my time. So let's say I want to use some straw and mulch this little eggplant that's in this pot right here. I've got my straw. I just pulled this off the bale. Well, I mean, here, let me get you a better look. So if I want to use this straw, which I've just pulled off a bale, and mulch this eggplant, right? I can kind of, yeah, yes, queen, looks great. Like this is not in, right? And okay, yeah. So that was a little bit silly, but let me show you a good example of one plant that I did with whole straw and then one that I did with my shredded straw. So this is a tomato plant that is doing really well. I've got some buffalo sun growing in here. And I did this with whole unshredded straw and it's fine, right? It is literally fine. You can see, but it is, even though I was actually trying, not like with that eggplant, it's sticking out every which way. You can see some gaps. Whereas this one I did with my shredded straw and absolutely zero weed pressure, zero, none ever. I have not pulled a single one. So let's do this eggplant again, but this time with my shredded straw. That lays in there so nicely, so neatly. It's going to keep all of the weeds out. It's going to keep the moisture in. That's just so much better. And honestly, I get it. Like if you're saying, Hayes, ain't nobody got time for that. Fair enough. I'll even link to the Easy Straw down below. It's a good product. I don't use it because this is literally my happy place. You will most lunches at work and most evenings after work find me out here on my little garden chair. This is my favorite, under my peach tree. And I will literally just be cutting up straw and listening to an audiobook. If you see me out here, don't bother saying hello. I can't hear you. I'm always listening to an audiobook. I've gotten through, I don't even know how many books. I just recently reread the entire Cosmere collection by Brandon Sanderson. And I'm also working my way through all of Mercedes Lackey's Heralds of Valdemar series again for the podcast I do with my friend. But honestly, like, this is where I do my reading. It's where I do my thinking. It's where I live my life. Is this the easiest and fastest hack? Absolutely not. Is this a hack at all? Not really. This is something that I've found adds a ton of value for no money whatsoever, but it does take time. It'll give you a better result in the end, but if it's not worth it to you to sit here and listen to a book, I get it. People are busy. I'm not that busy. I'm a gardener. This is my hobby. I don't have kids. This is what I like to do with my time. I get that this is not what most people do with their time. I get it completely. But if you're like me and you're a childless millennial who loves gardening, or if you want to give your kids a fun task and they're smart and responsible enough to be trusted with snips or scissors, come and cut up some straw with me. Not with me, I'm listening to a book. I won't listen. And again, if you say hi and I ignore you, I'm listening to a book. Oh, Bumblebee, it's a good day. So I should probably get back to work, but let me know if you decide to try this. And I will say, even though it looks like it takes a long time, cutting up this entire 5-gallon bucket worth of straw probably took me one lunch break, like 45 minutes, and then I had enough time to pound a smoothie. It's really not that much time, depending on how much time you have. So for someone who is super, super busy and you can only squeeze in, 15 minutes in your garden a day, this is not a good idea for you. If you're someone who loves to take your time and enjoy the peace of the garden, sit in the shade or get a sun hat, I guess. I love my sun hat, but I'd rather sit in the shade. Then give this a try and see if it's the best mulch you've ever used in your life, because it certainly is for me. Thanks for watching. I don't have a catchphrase or anything, but I hope you'll come and garden with me again. And now, some straw cutting ASMR with Hayes. Sometimes it doesn't cut, I just fold it over and then it does. Ta-da.